Welcome to the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore, and Karl Anthony Towns just got traded to the New York Knicks. Now, my first thought was I didn't think it was real because I got the notification from Sham Charania, and them type of trades. It's kind of like early, real early in the season. Training camp is about to start, so I'm like, I don't think so. But then I was like, wow, this is real. The Timberwolves really trading Karl Anthony Towns. So, Cat going to the Knicks, first of all, I actually think it's a great fit. I like the fit. He helps space the floor. Another shot creator that they got because Julius Randle, yes, he is a good player, but I think Cat is a better offensive player than him. Now, when it comes to the defensive side of things, I think it does kind of hurt them because Cat isn't like say Mitchell Robinson type. He's not going to be out here shot blocking and playing good defense to an extent. But to have another player that can hit the three really well, another plus 20 point per game score to go along with Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. I like the fit. I like it. I like it for the Knicks. I've always said, I said it when they traded for Mikal Bridges. I was like, this is probably the second best team in the East. Now I'm close to saying they might be the top 3, top 5 team in the whole entire league. The Knicks are going all in to try and win a championship. And that's just straight facts. Jalen Brunson takes a pay cut, but you trade for Mikal Bridges. You basically traded your whole future to get Mikal Bridges. You re-sign OG Anunoby. Obviously, Dante DiVincenzo is gone now, but you did sign him to a long-term extension. Josh Hart the same way, and Mitchell Robinson is still a question mark. But overall, I like this fit, man. They are really trying to beat Boston. They feel like they have a good shot of beating the Boston Celtics. I still have Boston number one. That's just me because they've all played with each other for numbers of years. Obviously, they just won the championship last year. So I'm going to keep Boston at number one for now. But the Knicks, they actually they are the second best team in the East in front of Philly, Milwaukee, and the Cavs. Yeah, they're and like the Magic and the Pacers on them. Yeah, they're in front of them. So I have no problem with that. Now on the Timberwolves side, the fit, I don't have a problem with it. Julius Randle next to Rudy Gobert. I actually have no problem with that. I like the addition of Dante DiVincenzo. Obviously had a career year shooting from three and points per game. He had a career year last year, helped them get far in the playoffs, obviously to the second round. He was definitely one of their better players in the playoffs, and he's going to come off the bench and help them. They knew, I think the Timberwolves, they saw Anthony Edwards was a rising star, and it's like you had to get rid of Cat because I never thought they was going to get rid of Rudy Gobert because I said this yesterday. I said Rudy Gobert is a 4-time defensive player of the year. He's a good player. I feel like people just be hating on him, but he is a good player. But do people really want to trade for him? That was my question. Do people really want to trade for him? And I don't think a lot of teams want to trade for him. And Cat is really like your only tradable asset. And the thing is, they just signed him to this deal, I think, this last offseason, or was it the offseason before? They just signed him to a deal, and he was going to be making basically like 50-some million for the next like 3 years. And I know he has a $61 million player option in his last year. And it was going to be hard for the Timberwolves to basically build around those two. Well, if you want to count Rudy Gobert 3, it was going to be hard to build around them because you basically have no money. Majority of your money goes to those 3 guys. And you did sign Jaden McDaniels to a decent long-term extension. It's not like super crazy high, but they did sign him. So you basically got 4 players on like 5+ year type contracts. So it's hard to build around them. So Cat, he had to go. And Julius Randle, he only has 2 years left on his deal. So, he plays good. The Timberwolves might give him an extension, or if he gets hurt, knock on wood, or plays bad, he could just opt into the player option. I think they got another like bully type player on their team, someone along with Ant who's gonna chirp back with the other team, isn't gonna back down. So that part I have no problem with Julius Randle on there. Dante DiVincenzo, he brings experience, obviously the career high shooting threes. He brings all that. So the Timberwolves, I don't think it's like, I don't think their Western Conference Finals good. I still have them like top 4, maybe like top 3, top 4 in the West though, because and obviously we feel like a lot of people feel like he's gonna take another step. I think he's gonna take another step. So Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, those are your 2 best players. Well, at least 2 offensive scoring players on the team. They're gonna take the next step. So I have no problem with it. Like the Timberwolves, I still wouldn't put them in front of OKC though. I think OKC, they have a lot of young players. They're a good defensive team, and they made some good. Obviously, OKC Thunder made some good additions. Would I put them in front of the Mavericks now? I probably wouldn't. Mavericks obviously just came out the NBA Finals, so I wouldn't put them in front of. I wouldn't put them in front of them now. Are they? Because I think they was better than the Nuggets, because the Nuggets, obviously, the last couple of years, they have gotten weaker. So would I put them ahead of the Nuggets now after this trade? I would kind of still put them in the same realm, even though Jokic is like game-changing type good. I still think Timberwolves, they got a lot of depth. Now that I feel like they got a really good bench now. On the bench, you're bringing out Dante DiVincenzo, Rob Dillingham. Why I can't think of the other guy? I just know they have a good bench. And I just said this yesterday. Nas Reed. How did I forget about Nas Reed? So you bring out Rob Dillingham, Nas Reed, Dante DiVincenzo, Terrence Shannon Jr. You still got Joe Ingles. They have a really good bench. So I'm not like the Timberwolves. I think they did a good job. But now getting off the big contract of Karl Anthony Towns, I think they can rebuild. They can surround Ant with good players in the future. Because Ant, obviously, nobody thought Cat was getting traded. Even though, if you look back, the Knicks been trying to get Karl Anthony Towns for years. They really been trying to get Karl Anthony Towns for years. So it's not really shocking that they went after him. I think it's just the fact, like, it is shocking, but it's just the fact that, wow, they really traded him. Man, been loyal. And the thing is, they just came off a Western Conference Finals appearance. Even though they lost 4-1, it was still something that was remarkable and that was good for the organization, because I haven't seen the Timberwolves make a Western Conference Finals since I really started watching basketball. So the fact that they gave up on this big 3 and like Twin Towers type, it's kind of crazy, because we've only really saw a year of this. We only saw really 1 full year, because the first year, I think that very first year, this is what we envisioned. Them going far in the playoffs, the Twin Towers with Cat, Rudy Gobert, and Anthony Edwards. Cat basically misses majority of the year. They lose in the first round. And here we are, a year later, they're in the Western Conference Finals, and they beat the defending champs in a Game 7 on their crib, at their crib. So it's kind of weird that they kind of gave up on it after a year. That is. But now, like I said, the Knicks side, the Knicks got a good team, man. They got a really good team. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby. And Josh Hart, can't forget about Josh Hart. That is a really good lineup on paper. I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks start out kind of slow. Obviously, everybody got to play with each other, so it's going to be kind of weird. But I can definitely see this team making the Eastern Conference Finals, potentially playing the Celtics, Sixers, or Milwaukee. They are in my opinion, they are the second best team in the Eastern Conference. And you can argue, they might be top 3. I definitely think top 5 now. Best team in the league. this is a good team in the Timberwolves. They are still a good team. As long as Anthony Edwards is there and he's going to take a bigger leap, they have a chance to potentially maybe go back to the Western Conference Finals. I'm not going to say that right now, but I think they have a good chance. The Timberwolves still have a good team. I think their defense is still going to be really good because they had the number one defense last year without no Cat. And now Julius Randle, who I think is probably a better defender than Cat right now. I think that's just what I think. I think he's just a better defender. But so I think that helps them. But overall, grade wise, I would give the Knicks like an A for the trade. Like I said, Cat helps the floor spacing because I feel like the problem for the Knicks was really like offense and offensive creation, which they got now. You got Cat. He is a bona fide shooter, bona fide 20 plus per game scorer to go along with Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges. Even though I don't think Mikal is going to give you 20-some points, I think he can definitely give me a good 18. And he's a decent shot creator. He's shown when he was in Brooklyn that year and a half, he can shot create, and I think that helps. And I think Cat is gonna play the 5 and have whenever Mitchell Robinson comes back, he comes off the bench. So I would give the Knicks an A. And for the Timberwolves, I give it like a B plus. I think it's not the sexy name, but I think them really getting back some good players in Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo, I think it keeps them on the timeline of, yeah, we can still probably make it to a Western Conference Finals. So, and you still got Rudy Gobert. I think he's still gonna be a good defensive player. So I would give them a B plus. So A plus for the Knicks, not A plus, but A for the Knicks, and I give a B plus for the Timberwolves. But that is it for the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore. Karl Anthony Towns gets traded to the New York Knicks. I'll see you guys later.